Well, it's just summer, right? And we, instead of sitting day and night in our studio, we should be outside in the forest or maybe on the beach and be prepared to make some jungle music, right? So therefore, I just rented this nice pocket operator sampler from my mate Stunts. So thanks for that. And I just would love to show you what this thing is about. But on the one hand, I think you already know like the millions of videos that explain what this kind of device is capable of. But I want to really focus just on aim and junglism. But just again, in a nutshell, what this is about, it's a small sampler. You either can sample here via microphone or the line in, and you have two modes, which means like either you lay out the sample on these 16 buttons, just like a normal sample, so you have 16 notes that you can play, or you have a drum mode, which means like every button represents another drum that you're recording. And so I just prepared here my aim and break. Check this out. And the reason why I have these small breaks in between is it's because the pocket operator then divides the recorded sample to the individual buttons and slices it up. Automatically, you are able to play it then on your pocket operator. I think it's really simple and easy to learn. Like it will take you half an hour maximum to record something and make a beat out of it. And I have a funny story for you that even my 4-year-old son, he picked it up before I just played around with it and immediately got something up and running, right? He, for example, showed me how to increase the BPM and slow it down again and make some very simple effects. I mean, a 4-year-old. Would that be cool? Or imagine we as kids would have these devices available just to get into sampling and make beats. So let me show you that I already recorded these samples into my pocket operator and sliced it up. And let me show you some beats that I'm just gonna make on the fly. So now as a result, we have the samples here on the device, right? Just showing you again the same sounds via line in. So, and if we go, right now we are in performance mode and there's an edit mode as well. In performance you can play obviously. And in edit mode we can edit the pattern. So the last sound we are pressing like this one. Then in edit mode we can have a step sequence available. So let's say on the first one we want to hit the kick, right? And then we just can play. By the way, one thing that really has driven me crazy is the following fact. It's the line out that is mono, and the same with the line in, I guess. I mean, it makes sense for a sampler to just record a mono signal, right? But on the other hand, you have to realize if you plug in a stereo jack, and by the way, here in my studio I just have stereo jacks available, it would mean that you have two phases on the same cable and the two phases rule the signal out. So it means you have really a low gain when you record and just plug in a stereo cable in there and plug it into your DAW. And I just realized that when the gain was really low, right? And on the device itself, you can, of course, increase the gain, but it wasn't enough. And then I started to Google around, and I just realized I was not the first one. And someone came up with the idea to use a mono jack, of course, right? And that's why I came up here with this alternative, with this weird setup here. I have here a stereo jack, but just use one side of the stereo signal and then put this again into my DAW. And so therefore I got proper gain. So just keep in mind, if you face the same issue, it's a mono jack that you want to use. On the one side, the pocket operator is quite simple and it's quite limited, of course, right? That's the nature of this device. And if you think of our scale, and you see here maybe the pocket operator, and you see here your DAW like Ableton Live, here you can do everything, right? And you might be used to that. And here you just have seen the pocket operator with its limited pattern mode and its limited effects, but they are really quite effective and useful for what we want to do. In the middle, I see the Electron devices like the Digitech, for example. It's more complicated than a pocket operator, obviously. It also describes interesting features and effects that we are all interested in, and it's also kind of quite creative to use the device, right? But you cannot do like everything what you're doing with your DAW. So I see the Electron devices in the middle in between, but the pocket operator is really cool and comes quite handy just to put it into your pocket, right? And it runs on battery, although there are now already some Electron devices out there that run on batteries as well. And I think it's just quite nice to have it in the studio to record some very simple effects with the beats and to have some creative stuff ongoing. And therefore I really appreciate it, and it's still worth to record that one. And the price tag also makes it quite easy to just get one and play around with that, right? I think I did not cover everything what this device is able to do, but I just wanted to give you a brief idea how it can add some nice additional stuff to your aim and break Junglism, like that we're all interested in and love. So, or if you think I missed something very important, or you think differently, or there's really something I should have mentioned, please leave it in the comments, and of course give me a like and subscribe, and let me know what you think of this device, and talk to you soon. Bye.